Hey everybody, Joe, Redneck Collector, coming at you with another video. It is Sunday evening, and I had a fantastic weekend full of baseball cards, some family time, but most importantly, just getting to see some guys and hang out with some guys that I don't get to see in person very often. So it was the 3-day Westport Card Show here in St. Louis, and it's a 3-day show. I'm sure you probably have heard some of the other guys. I'm late to the party making my video. I know the other fellas have made one, so they've talked about it a little bit. But it's a show that has been going on for a while. Since I got back in the hobby, I've been attending it every year. And great autograph signers. The show itself is pretty small, but it's got just some really good vintage at it. It's got some national dealers there, that are well known, like Tim Payne and Bill Chappell, Tony at Monster Cards, JD Heckathorn. I know I'm forgetting a couple others, but it's just a really good show. Pretty packed though, with autograph signers. So depending on what day it was a little tough to get around. But it started, Friday. Ross Love Cards and Mike over Jayhawker Vintage got into town. I met them. We got there before the show even started, sat in the lobby, and shot the breeze and was talking about cards. And right about the time we were getting ready to get up and go on the show, rolling in later than I think he intended, but Chris from Missouri shows up. He's got Mike baseball collector with him, and both Tom and Coop all together. And they show up. We go into the show. Had a great time. It was really fun hanging out and getting to chat a little bit with Mike baseball collector. I've gotten a chance to talk to him a couple times before, briefly at the national get-togethers, and so it was cool to chat with him some, chat with other people that I know. I had a lot of friends from my vintage group here in St. Louis, and got to hang out with them. I got to hang out with a lot of them today, so it was a lot of fun. But let me run you through. I don't want to ramble the whole time. You all have heard them talk about the videos. It was a lot of fun. But Friday, the show was really kind of getting around, seeing things. I wanted to see, even though it's a small show, I want to go through, get to see stuff before I committed to anything. And I'm not going to give away I'll link to the other channels. I don't want to give away any of their stuff, that they can show you exactly what they bought. They picked up some really cool stuff, so don't want to take any thunder away from them. But Friday was a lot of fun. It was a calm, what's the time? It's just like when we were at the National on Wednesday. It's just like calm before the storm. It's a little easier to walk around and talk. It's not as many people in there. It's not hectic. Friday was the way to go. But I didn't pick up a whole lot Friday, but what I did pick up was about a 1953 Topps early win. And this is it's a solid card. It's got some, it's not perfect, but man, the color, registration, centering, it's got it going on. I picked that card up relatively cheap. I'm working on the 53 Topps Hall of Fame run. Got some other cards coming in that are going to fit in with that. But I won't give that away just yet. And then from another dealer, how about this guy? Man, look at the color and the centering on that Campy right there. It does have a surface wrinkle. I don't know if I can get it to show. Yeah, you can see it kind of there by his face. But man, if you got to try to show it like that, it doesn't bother me. Really good deal on both of these cards, I felt. I just think that's a beautiful card. Just absolutely beautiful image, beautiful colors. So those are my two pickups Friday. Like I said, other guys, they picked up some really nice cards. Check their channels out. Ross Loves Cards and Mike Jayhawker Vintage, and Chris from Missouri. He picked up some really nice cards too. So check their channels out. I'm not gonna get into that. I don't want to steal their thunder if you haven't watched that yet. So Friday, we got, I don't know, around 6 o'clock, we decided, hey, let's go get something to eat. So myself, Ross, and Mike ran off, went down the street to a place called Cyberg's. It's a bar and grill. It's really good. They've got several locations here in St. Louis. So went and had some Cyberg's, had a good meal, and then sat there and talked for like 3 hours. And just a lot of fun. That's what this hobby's all about. I could go buy baseball cards by myself and come back home, but you know what? It was just special sitting down, having a meal with those guys, and just talking about baseball and cards. And honestly, could have sat there all night. But, end up had to get those guys back to their hotel rooms. And early next morning, Saturday morning, Ross wasn't feeling real well, so he headed home. Mike went in and made a couple big purchases, or a big purchase, I should say, and another really cool purchase, but one that I think he kind of went to bed thinking about. But he got up and made that purchase. And so I hung out with Mike for a little bit, and then he had to hit the road. And honestly, Saturday was nuts. Pujols was signing, but it was crazy. I really would love to get a baseball with a inscription on it from Pujols, but that would have cost me $550. So pretty proud of his signature, and I wasn't going to pay that much money for him. As cool as it would have been, I just couldn't bring myself to it. So I did some autographs last year, but I didn't this year. Saturday was so busy. I get in there. Most of my St. Louis buddies were skipping Saturday, knowing it would be crazy, and they were smart. So I didn't pick up a whole lot Saturday, but what I did pick up is I found Tony at Monster Cards had several Mean Joe Green that I could pick up for my son's Mean Joe Green collection. So I was able to get a 74, a 75. I think I got my years right. I'm not as good with vintage football. I think that one's right. Yep. 74, 75. And then how about a 76 Mean Joe Green? And then the other thing I picked up, I had never, ever seen this before. I think Tony even said it was something he hadn't seen before. These were from Stop and Go Markets, 1980, I believe. Yeah, 1980. Just like a 3D Kellogg's or like a lenticular card. Can't really do it justice here with my camera, but it is got the 3D effect going on with it. My son thought this was really cool. So I was able to pick those cards up for my son, and honestly, it was around 11:30. I called my wife. I said, "Hey, this is crazy busy." We were talking about taking the kids to Six Flags anyway, so that's what we did. We rushed off to Six Flags of St. Louis. We were trying to figure out the last time we were there. My wife said she hadn't been there since high school. I know it had been at least 15 years for me, so I got a free back adjustment riding the Screaming Eagle for the first time in a lot of years, and the Ninja and all these different rides there. If you know, you know. The kids had a blast. We did Fright Night, stayed up late. So anyway, I went back today, Sunday, this morning, and went back and looked at some cards that I kind of scouted out that I wasn't sure about. I went back and I looked at, there was 3 of them at Bill Chappell's table, and took them out. I looked at them again. I'd already looked at a couple of them before, and I looked at the other one for the first time, and quoted me a price, and it wasn't a bad price, I didn't think, but I went and looked around. Finally, I was like, man, I gotta go pull the trigger on it. And honestly, he quoted me a price. I had $20 less than the price. And I just went up and I said, Bill, I showed him my wallet. I said, I'm not even lying to you. You said you'd take this much. I got $20 short of that. I'm gonna be careful talking about values, because sometimes my mother-in-law watches these, and I may have to rein in talking about how much I spend. So, but anyway, Bill, we chatted for a minute. Bill's a great guy. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's not, let $20 hold us up. And so I brought home this Frankie Frisch E120, 1922 E120 caramel. Now, this is an image that's on a lot of Frisch's cards, and this particular image here is on several different caramel cards, and they're all really neat. But I love the E120 with the with the ornate design, if you will, on the borders, and it's not the blank back. It actually here it is. It's got the New York National Giants manager John McGraw and the rest of the team on there, and I just think that's really, really cool. And it's not a card you see tons and tons of, so it's like, I got to bring that sucker home. So I got that. And then the next guy is a guy that I was not represented in my collection whatsoever. And he is a highly underrated pitcher. I know if you watch Aaron over at Volume Vintage Cards, he schools us all on how underrated. But when you look at this guy's stats, it is pretty crazy. And I had to bring it home. 1934 Gowdy, Robert Lefty Grove. Just a beautiful card. Absolutely beautiful card in my book. So came to a little package deal with Bill Chappell. Came to an agreement. Those guys came home with me super stoked to add them. So it was a great show, great time, great pickups, but really great time just with friends and getting to chat and cut up a little bit and just spend some time, with some like-minded people and having some fun. And it was really kind of a blessing to do it. So appreciate those guys for letting me hang out with them and chat with them and enjoy the hobby together. So I'm going to cut it there. It's 10 minutes, trying to keep my videos a little bit shorter, but I appreciate you guys watching as always. And I'll catch you on the next one. Remember, keep it a little redneck out there.